Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to our English class. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Dian Prasista Widyadana with student number 230508610 as the first teacher in this lesson. Today we are going to learn about future intention using the word will. Before we begin, please meet my friends who will also appear in this video.
Hello everyone, my name is Najla Nur Faiza and my student number is 23050861019 as the second teacher in this video.
Hello everyone, my name is Rifqah Putri with student registration number 23050860006 as the third teacher in this video.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Azlika Ayundra and my student number is 23050860009 as a fourth teacher in this video.
Alright, now let's start our lessons.
Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm really happy to see all of you here. Today we are going to learn something new and fun. We will talk about how to use the word will to speak about things that happen in the future, things that have not happened yet but will happen later. For example, maybe you plan to study English tonight or help your mom tomorrow. We use will to talk about those future plans. Now, before we start, let's look at a short story together. This story is called Jake and the Beanstalk. I want you to read the story by yourself to understand what it's about. Take your time. You can pause the video if you need more time to read. After you finish, we'll look at one part of the story together. Before we start, let's take a look at what you will learn today. I want you to pay attention and think about how you can use this in your own sentences later. By the end of the lessons, you will be able to identify sentences with will in the story and make your own sentences using will. So make sure you listen carefully and try to remember the example we will see. Okay, look at this part of the story. Can you see the word I underline? Yes, it's will. We'll talk about what it means in a moment. Jack asks, "What will you give me in return for my cow?" And the man answers, "I will give you 5 magic beans." Did you hear the word will in both of those sentences? Yes, that word tells us something that hasn't happened yet. It's about future. So, let's think together. Are Jake and the man talking about something that already happened? Something happening now? Or something that will happen in the future? Yes, that's right. They are talking about something that will happen in the future. That means they're making a plan or talking about what is going to happen next. So, the word will shows something that happens in the future. We use will to talk about our plans, promises, or intention. So today, we will learn how to use will in sentences to talk about what will happen later. Now, you already understand that will is used to talk about future action, plans, or promises. Next, we will learn more about how to use will correctly in sentences, where to put it, and how to make positive, negative, or question form. Let's continue with Najla, who will explain the structure of will.
Thank you so much, Dian. And hello everyone, my name is Najla Nur Faiza as the second teacher in this video. So I would like to continue what we have already learned with my friend Dian. But before we start it, let's look at an example sentence from the story Jack and the Beanstalk.
Okay, alright everyone. So, do you still remember the story Jack and the Beanstalk? Yes, okay. Let's look at one short part from the story. Here, we have this line. Look. The man answered, I will give you 5 magic beans. Interesting, right? So the man says, I will give you 5 magic beans. Now, can you find which word here shows something about the future? Yes, it is the word will. Good job. So, when he says, I will give you 5 magic beans, that means he's not giving them yet. He's talking about what he's going to do later. It is a plan or maybe a promise. Maybe he's lying to Jack, but anyway, the important thing is that the word will tells us about the future. So now, let's highlight that sentence together. I will give you 5 magic beans. There you go. Keep that in mind because after this, I'm going to show you the structure and some examples, okay? Alright everyone, now that we have seen the example from the story, let's talk about how to actually use this word will. So, we use will when we want to talk about something that is going to happen in the future, something that we plan to do, promise to do, or just think will happen. Got it? For example, if I say I will eat noodles after class, that means I'm not eating now, but I plan to do it later. So, we can say will is a helping verb for future intentions or actions. Here's the pattern. Easy one. Repeat after me. Subject plus will plus base verb. Again, subject plus will plus base verb. Good. Let's see some examples together. She will help you. That means she plans to help you later. They will play football tomorrow. So, they have not played yet. They are going to play tomorrow. Easy, right? Let's try another form. Now, how about the negative form? Easy again. Just add not after will. She will not help you. You can also say won't. It's just a shorter way to say will not. So, she will not becomes she won't. Simple, right? And if you want to make a question, just move will to the front. Will they play football tomorrow? So, you see, you don't need to change the verb. Just move will to the front and it becomes a question. Cool, right?
See, it's not that hard, right? Just remember that will always means something you will do it later, not now. Now, it's time to practice. Let's see if you really understand using will in your own sentences. So, without any further ado, let's move on to Teacher 3, who will help you try using will in your own sentences. Let's go!
Hi everyone! Now, let's practice together. Please open our Google Classroom and join with this code URJY26V6. There's a worksheet there with a story called Jack and the Beanstalk. I want you to read the story carefully and underline the sentences that have the word will. please pause this video and start working on your worksheet. You'll have 10 minutes to finish. And the time starts now. Alright, welcome back. Have you finished your worksheet? Let's check your answers together. First, look at this part of the first paragraph. Do you see any sentences with will here? Yes, correct. We have two sentences. The first sentence is a will sentence in a question form. What will you give me in return for my cow? The second sentence is a will sentence in a positive form. I will give you 5 magic beans. Did you get it correctly? Good. Now let's move on to the next part. Now, take a look at this part of the third paragraph. Can you spot a sentence with will? Yes, here it is. I will grind his bones to make my bread. This sentence is a will sentence in a positive form, showing what someone plans to do. All done? Great! Let's move on to the next part. Next, peek at part of the fourth paragraph. Do you see a sentence with will here? That's right, it is the same sentence. I will grind his bones to make my bread. This is another will sentence in positive form. Notice how it works the same way as before in the third paragraph. Excellent! Let's keep going. Now, check out part of the fifth paragraph. Can you spot the will sentence? Yes, it is the same one again. I will grind his bones to make my bread. This is a will sentence in positive form. Did you get it correctly? Great job! Now let's wrap it up. So, in the story Jack and the Beanstalk, there are 3 sentences with will. The first one is a question from the first paragraph. What will you give me in return for my cow? The second one is a positive sentence, also from the first paragraph. I will give you 5 magic beans. The third one is repeated in the third, fourth, and fifth paragraphs. It is also a positive sentence. I will grind his bones to make my bread. Did you get them all correct? That's okay if you didn't. The important thing is that you tried and learned how will works in a sentence. Now, let's continue with teacher 4. We will give you another task to make your own sentences using will.
Okay everyone, now it's practice time. We have learned how to use will, right? So now let's make your own sentences. You will make 3 sentences, 1 positive, 1 negative, and 1 question. Don't worry, it's super easy. Remember, we'll talk about something that hasn't happened yet, something in the future. So when you use will, imagine you were talking about something that's going to happen later. For example, if I say, Jack will climb the beanstalk again, it means he's not climbing it now, but he will do it in the future. If I say, Jack will not climb the beanstalk again, that means he won't do it. And if I ask, will Jack climb the beanstalk again? So I'm not sure. I'm asking a question about the future. So easy, right? You just add will before the verb, like will climb, will eat, or will play. When it's negative, add not, will not, or won't. And when you ask, just move will to the front. Will you play? Will he go? Alright, now it's your turn. Now I want you to write your 3 sentences. After that, please submit your work on Google Classroom. I will check your sentences one by one and give you some feedback. So make sure your sentences are correct. Before we finish, let's take a moment to reflect on what we learned in this lesson. At the beginning, you read part of the story Jack and the Beanstalk. From the story, we learn how people talk about things that will happen in the future. Then, we learn to use the word will to talk about future plan or action. We also learn how to make positive, negative, and question sentences using will. Let's remember the simple pattern one more time. Subject plus will plus simple or base verb. See, very simple and useful in daily English. You all did very well from start to finish. Keep practicing English every day, even just a little bit. Remember, practice makes progress. Thank you so much for learning with us today. You did great and I'm really proud of you. See you again in the next video and bye-bye!